separate. Let me record from my side and let me. Lakshmi, you don't have. I hope I gave you. Lakshmi, you have recording permissions. Guys, before asking, just try again. Okay, just try to record. If you don't get permissions, then you can ask me. Right. Still anyone is missing with recording permissions? I see some people are not recording, guys. It's your wish. There is no force. But again, okay, if you are waiting for my recordings, it will take time. Okay. Then should be in user. I'll tell you about groups and all. I'll tell you, Muthu. Okay. It's again a separate topic. I'll tell you. Chandra, let me give you the permission. Yes, Chandra, you can record. Right, fine. Let me share my screen. Okay. Right. So now I'll tell you what is this group login and all, how many types of logins we have. Everything we'll discuss. Okay. Right. So this is my computer 20.115.14.69. This is my computer. The computer name is B41 batch 41, right? The computer name is batch 41. Let me write the computer name as well. Batch 41. What is the command to see the computer name, guys? What is the command? Host name. Okay. Or you can see this PC properties also. Right. How a Windows guy will log into the server, how a SQL guy will log into the server, how SQL server manages the security, I'll explain. Okay. Listen carefully. Very important. Very, very important. If you are clear in the security, then it will be very happy. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you. Okay. So please be conscious. Okay. Don't this one. Okay. So what we can do is, let's discuss about this Windows authentication, how it will work. Okay. So first imagine if anyone wants to connect to the SQL server. This is my SQL server, right? So for example, if one user, let me go with one user. Okay, user. Right. And let me go with this person. Okay. How Windows authentication will work, first we'll explain that. Later we'll discuss about the SQL authentication. Let me go with the database. Right. This is my database. This is my SQL server, right? Inside SQL server, I have databases. Okay, imagine two databases. There are two databases. Fine. So imagine we just created Praneeth, right? He is the Praneeth. Okay. Just now we created Praneeth, right? So now if I logged in as Praneeth, if you see here, okay. So let me close this one. Let me reopen as Praneeth. Okay, right click again, shift right click, you will get run as different user. Okay, so now I'm giving a Praneeth username, Praneeth, and username, password, I'm giving password. So guys, tell me, can Praneeth connect to my SQL server?
No.
Why no?
Because he is not part of any users group. That is the basic
Okay.
authentication, I think.
There
Okay.
is no user account in a SQL server.
Very good. Okay, so let's explain. Let's discuss this one. Before doing that, what I'm going to do, B41 admin. Okay, B41 admin is going to connect to the SQL, so he can happily connect. Okay, why he can happily connect? Remember, guys, as you have user created in the LUSR MGR, okay, then only you can log into the Windows machine. This is clear, everyone, right? Even though you are using your laptops, okay, you are using your laptop, while logging into the laptop at 7 o'clock class means you are going to start your laptop at 6:50 and you will just enter your name, right? So what it means, your name is there in the LUSR MGR screen, in MGR window. That's why you are able to log into this machine. That machine, your laptop also will, it will work in the same way. Why? Because that is also Windows machine only. Your laptop, Windows servers, everything will work in the same way. Imagine if there is no username or someone deleted your username, you cannot log into the laptop also. In the same way, if Praneeth wants to log into this Windows machine, this batch 41 Windows machine, his account should be there. Then only he can log in. In the same way, SQL Server also manage the security. If you expand security, if you go to the logins, those who are there in this logins list, those who are there in this logins list, they only are allowed to connect to my SQL server. Okay, those people only are allowed to connect to my SQL server, right? If you see here B41 admin, see here batch 41/B41 admin. If you see the login, as I have login present in the SQL server, that's why this guy B41 admin is able to log into the SQL server. Agree or not, everyone? Agree, right? So now tell me, Pranit is there in this list? Can you see Pranit here in this list?
No.
Can you see Pranit?
No, no.
No,
No.
Pranit. So if I'm trying to log in as Pranit, okay, so definitely I'll get the error. 18456. It's a famous error, guys. Okay, it's a famous error 18456. And guys, whenever you're sending screenshots to me, okay, sometimes what happened is you will just close this. Of course, error will come like this. You will take a screenshot and you will send it to me. So before sending screenshot to me, just send the screenshot like this, okay, so that I can see the server name and all. I can see the username and all, so that I'll get an idea. Okay, instead of wasting the time again, if I ask the screenshot, okay, you can send like this while getting any errors. Okay, so 18456 is the famous error number for login failures. 18456. Okay, so in what scenarios we'll get 18456 error? Usually if there is no login, but it's based on Windows level, right, Muttu? That's what I'm saying. Okay, don't think all Windows people can connect to my SQL server. No, in that case, there is no security for SQL server. I'm just giving example like how we have user in the Windows level. In the same way, he can log to the Windows machine, right? Same concept will be applied for SQL server. Here, if the user is there, then only he can connect to the, right? If you see here, if the user is there in this list, LUS or local users and group section, then only he can log into the Windows machine. The same concept, if the login is there in the logins list, that person only can connect to my SQL server. Just to compare, I just opened that LUS or MGR. Clear? He should be there here. Any login, either SQL login or Windows login, he should be there in the logins list. That person only is allowed to connect to my SQL server or log into my SQL server. Any issues here? Any doubts here, please? Is it clear as of now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, right. So let's go like this. Let's discuss this one. Yeah. Okay, so 184. Yes,
I
yes.
have one.
Mhm.
So basically, Windows level, some user is created, but how should I add to that?
I'll tell you. I'll
means
tell you. I'll tell you.
server?
I'll tell you. Okay, so
Okay,
there is a
okay.
separate concept. Nothing to worry. Creating logins. Okay, so I'll tell you. Right. So if you see here 18456, when we'll get this error? If there is no such login, you will get 18456 error. But you have a login, but you are giving wrong password while connecting, you will get 18456 error. Okay, so whenever you don't have login in the SQL server, you will get same error 18456. Whenever you are giving wrong password, also you will get same error 18456. In these two scenarios, usually will get 18456 if the password mismatch, if the login is not existed. Okay, in these cases, usually will get 18456 error. Okay, guys. So this means that the server, this person, okay, this person doesn't have access to my SQL server, right? So the important point is, even though you might be a Windows admin in the Windows level, okay, but still you cannot connect to the SQL server. What is the main prerequisite? A login should be created on behalf of your name, then only you can connect to the SQL server. Okay, right, fine. If you see here in the Windows authentication, Pranit user, we just created Pranit user, right? Okay, so whenever Pranit is trying to log into the SQL server, of course he will get the error. Why? Because he might be a Windows user. Okay, let's connect to the SQL server first. Okay, he might be a Windows user. In the Windows level, he might be a Windows admin. That doesn't mean your SQL server will allow you. Why? Because in that case, SQL server will allow all the Windows admins, so there will be no security. The security should be in SQL DBS control, not in the Windows machine control. Okay, So what happened, even though you might be, the Praneeth might be a Windows admin, but still he cannot connect to the SQL server. Why? Because there is no login created for Praneeth here. If I create a login in the SQL server, okay, if I create a login in the SQL server, then Praneeth can, okay, connect to the SQL server, guys. If I create a login in the SQL server, then only Praneeth can connect to my SQL server, right? So this is how it will work. So what I have to do, if Praneeth wants to connect, I have to create a login for Praneeth in the SQL server, then only Praneeth can connect to the SQL server. Okay, this is how your Windows authentication will work, guys. Okay, means if I want to create a login, this is called Windows login, guys. Okay, Windows login means what? Creating a login based on the Windows user. This is called Windows user, and the one which you are going to create in the SQL server, that is called Windows login. Okay, so creating, if I want to create this Windows login directly, I cannot create. Why? Because without having this Windows user in the Windows level, I cannot create Windows login for Praneeth. Agree? If I want to create a Windows login for Praneeth, Windows user should be there in the Windows level, guys. Is it clear, everyone? Any issues, any doubts, guys, please? Not clear. Muthu, what happened? Tell me. See, for example, if I want to create a Praneeth Windows login, I want to create a Praneeth Windows login. Okay. The prerequisite is, see, for example, if you want to install SQL Server, what is the prerequisite? What is the prerequisite? .NET framework, right? Main prerequisite .NET framework. Okay. So without .NET framework, I cannot install, right? In the same way, I want to create a login for Praneeth in the SQL Server. Okay. So if I want to create a Windows login, there are two types of logins, Windows login and SQL login. If I want to create a Windows login, Praneeth user should be existed in the Windows level. That is a prerequisite. Clear, everyone? Now is it clear? Fine. Any questions, guys, please? Right. Right. So in the organization, we will have a separate setup called Active Directory, guys, AD. Okay. This is called AD. Active Directory means it's a separate server which will maintain the security. All users will be created under Active Directory only. All user account means it will be Active Directory user only. Okay. So there is a separate class on Active Directory, how to create Active Directory. Actually, this is a Windows topic, but still we'll discuss. Okay, why? Because we have to practice as a real time. I am configuring Active Directory and all. Okay, so Active Directory, simple words. Active Directory means it's a centralized security system. All the users from CEO to company security guard, all users are part of the Active Directory. As Praneeth is also one user, okay, as Praneeth is also one user, so what happened is, wait, Control Z, okay, as Praneeth is also, array, Control Z, just select this one, okay, as Praneeth is also one user, either Praneeth account should be created in the Windows machine or Praneeth account should be created in the Active Directory, guys. Either of them, okay. Only one. Either his account should be created in the Windows machine, okay, or else his account should be created in the Active Directory. If Praneeth account is there in the Windows machine or Praneeth account is there in the Active Directory, then only we can create a Windows login for Praneeth. Either of the cases, not two. Okay, not two are mandatory. Either his account should be created in the Windows machine or his account should be created in the Active Directory level. Okay, so is it clear, guys? This point is clear or not? Everyone, forget about Active Directory as of now. Nothing. Okay, I just want to discuss this point. That's why I just included here. If you don't understand Active Directory, leave it. No issues at all. There is a separate concept, Active Directory. You can understand there. Okay, so Praneeth account should be there in the Windows level. Then only I can create Windows login for Praneeth. Right. So here, How Praneeth will log in? First, Praneeth will log in to his laptop. Imagine, where is the laptop? Oh, sorry. Laptop. Right. This is Praneeth laptop. Praneeth work laptop. What Praneeth will do once he logged into the laptop, what he will do? What he will do, guys? He want to connect to one server. What he will do? Directly he will open laptop, he will log into the laptop, he will type MSTSC, right? He will type MSTSC here. He will get this screen, MSTSC screen. He will get this kind of screen in his laptop, right? And then what happened? Okay, Praneeth has to give this server IP address, right? This server IP address. So Praneeth has to type MSTSC or remote desktop from his laptop. Then he has to, if he wants to connect to this server, he will enter this server IP address in this window, right? That's what we are doing now. Exactly, we are doing the same, right? So once he logged into the machine, once Praneeth logged into the machine, Windows machine, right? Imagine this is Praneeth window. Now what he is going to do? He will open SSMS here. Okay, he just logged into the Windows machine, right? Now he will, what he will do? Praneeth will open SSMS in the server itself. This is server, right? In the server itself, Praneeth will open SSMS. Once you opened SSMS, then it will ask the SQL server name. Then Praneeth will give the SQL server name, and if he has permissions, he is able to connect to the SQL server. This is how your Windows authentication will work. Means you have to connect to the Windows server first, then only you have to use your Windows authentication. Okay, guys, you have to connect to the Windows server first, then only you have to use your Windows authentication. Agree? Is it clear, everyone? Any doubts in this diagram? Please let me know, guys. If it is clear, then I'll explain about how SQL authentication will work. Everyone, if not clear, let me know. Nothing I did, like daily how I am connecting, I just explained the same. Okay, right, fine. Here now, how other people will connect? We are DBS, right? We will have full rights, so that's why we'll directly connect to the Windows machine daily, and then from that machine we'll open SSMS, then we'll connect to the SQL server. Windows admins, usually SQL admins will connect like this usually. Okay, DBS and all. Muthu, forget about it. Okay, forget about it. Don't try now. Until you are clear, don't try now. Okay, so imagine SQL authentication. We don't give Windows authentication to everyone. You know, right? What is the impact if I give Windows authentication to everyone? At a time, only 2 persons can connect to the server remotely. Agree? But imagine 100 developers are there in my project. 100 developers are there in my project. Okay, so what I'm going to do? I don't give Windows authentication for them. I'll give SQL authentication for them. I'll create SQL logins, means SQL authentication for them. How they are going to connect, guys? What they will do, here we are connecting to the Windows server and we are opening SSMS and we are giving the server name. As Praneeth is already there in the server, Praneeth can connect to this SQL server. Agree? But how developers are going to do the same thing? Developers directly open their laptop. Developers, they are going to, what they are going to do? Simply imagine this is developer laptop. Okay, here we have a developer. Okay, imagine we have a developer here. Who else? Let me go with one person. Okay, Sajal. Imagine Sajal is the developer. Okay, Sajal laptop. This is Sajal laptop. What Sajal will do directly, he just logged in. He will log in at 9 o'clock. Okay, so what Sajal will do, he will directly open SSMS here in his laptop itself. He will open run. He will directly open SSMS. Then he will get this kind of screen. Like now I am Sajal. Imagine I'll open SSMS like this. Now what I have to do? I have to give this SQL server name. This SQL server name. Okay, let it open. I'll show you. He won't connect to the Windows server, Sajal. Okay, directly Sajal will connect to the SQL server only. Why it is taking time? Okay, it was open. Okay. So what Sajal will do? Simply Sajal will log into, as Sajal will log into his laptop, he will get his name, right? This is Sajal laptop. Imagine this is Sajal laptop. Okay. As Sajal will log into his laptop, here Sajal name will come. And here, if you see, if he directly trying to connect to using Windows authentication, he will get Sajal here. But if he choose SQL Server authentication, he can give his name Sajal and he can give his password 123 and he can click connect. When he can, his connection will be succeeded. If Sajal login is created in the SQL Server, then Sajal connection will be succeeded. Agree? Is it clear? User. Let me go. Okay, with this one. There will be no login in the. There will be no user for Sajal. Directly, his login will be created under SQL Server. He is Sajal. Let me expand. Sajal. Clear, guys? What users will do, how users will connect, they will simply open SSMS. Okay, once SSMS is opened, on which server they have access, they will give the server name. Imagine my server name is, in this case, my server name is batch 41, right? They will give the server name, they will choose SQL Server authentication, and they will give their name Sajal, and they will give their password. Okay, while creating a user, while creating a login for Sajal, will create one password, will give one password. That password will communicate with the Sajal, will give it to the Sajal. Hey Sajal, this is your password, use this password to connect to the SQL Server. Then Sajal will use that password. Of course, Sajal can change his own password. Okay, it's of course by default. Otherwise, I will connect as a Sajal, I will delete the database and I'll, okay, tell the name Sajal deleted the database and all. It's risky, right? Right. So it's not like that. Sajal can immediately change the password, right? So this is how a SQL authentication will work. Is it clear, everyone? But SQL or Windows, what should be there, guys? Either SQL authentication or Windows authentication. What is the prerequisite? First of all, if I want to connect to the SQL server.
Windows.
No.
User account.
Login. Very good, Kiran.
Create
Login.
in
Login. Okay. Kiran, Kusuma, Payak. Good. Okay. A login should be there in the SQL server. Then only it will allow us to connect to the SQL server. Either that is a Windows login or SQL login. Depends upon your roles and responsibilities. See, guys, depends upon your roles and responsibilities. You might get Windows authentication or SQL authentication. Okay. But once you logged in inside the server, there is no difference between Sajal and Praneeth. What Praneeth can do, everything can be done by Sajal also. Permissions wise, both can be sysadmins. Don't think Praneeth will have a lot of access. Yes, he has extra options, extra access in the Windows level. In the Windows level, he can do anything. He can copy the files, he can delete the files, he can rename the files. In the Windows machine level, he can create the folders and all. But Sajal, of course, Sajal can't log into the Windows machine. Sajal only can connect to the SQL server. So SQL server wise, both can have sysadmin access. Access wise, permissions wise, there is no difference between a Windows login and a SQL login, guys. Agree? Praneeth can be a sysadmin, Sajal can be a sysadmin. Once they are sysadmins in the SQL server level, they can do everything in the SQL server. When compared to Sajal, Praneeth is also having Windows access. So Praneeth can do some extra activities in the Windows machine level, like copying the files and all. Is it clear how Windows authentication, how SQL authentication will work? Any doubts? Still any doubts? Let me know. Is it clear, guys? Any doubts, please? Please, guys, no doubts. There are two
Sir.
scenarios you don't get doubts. Either you are completely
Yes, sir.
understood or if you don't understand anything. Is it clear,
Sir, I have
everyone?
doubt.
Please. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, without installing names, I mean, అదే నేమ్స్ అంటే మనం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసేటప్పుడు నేమ్స్ ఇస్తాము సార్, యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్.
Yes. While installing will give you not password, add current user section, you are saying?
అంటే మనం ఇప్పుడు ఇన్‌స్టాల్ చేస్తే ఒక యూజర్ నేమ్, ఒక పాస్వర్డ్‌తో క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి సార్ అకౌంట్.
Yes, we'll see while installing what we'll do, while installing in the authentication screen, you can choose Windows authentication or SQL Server authentication. After that, in the below portion, you can see, okay, add current user option will be there. Once if I click add current user option, those who is installing, automatically a login will be created in the SQL Server for him. One more option will be there, add option. If you click on add option, you can add other people also while installing the SQL Server itself. While clicking on add, will add usually SQL DB a team, the whole team we are going to add. Okay,
Okay.
so that is, if you forgot to add a user there, you cannot connect to a SQL, even though you only installed the SQL Server. If you don't add any people there, you cannot connect to the SQL Server. If you add any people, a login will be created here and they are able to log into the SQL Server.
ఓకే.
Clear? Any guys, any questions guys, please? Right, so these are called, please show how to, sir,
Right.
that is my responsibility, Kishore. Okay, that's
Shanmugh,
my
I have a doubt.
responsibility. Yeah.
Though any person have Windows level authentication, that same person have the login credentials in the SQL Server, right?
It's not mandatory. The same person can have the SQL Server authentication also.
Okay.
It's not mandatory. Why? Because Windows admins also will have Windows machine access. But what is the need of accessing SQL Server for Windows admins? They are intended to work for Windows machines. They don't touch the SQL servers, right? They can't touch the SQL servers, right? That's what I'm saying. Even Windows people also can log into the Windows machine, but that doesn't mean they can connect to my SQL server. When can they connect? If I create a login for Windows people, they can connect.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Any questions, guys? Any doubts?
సో డిఫరెంట్ ఇన్‌స్టాన్సెస్ క్రియేట్ చేయకోకుండా జస్ట్ లాగిన్స్‌తో క్రియేట్ అయిపోవచ్చా సార్?
No, that is completely different. No, don't think like that. See, you have a Gmail account, you have Outlook account, you have different. See, can I log in to Outlook with my Gmail credentials?
నో.
No, right? I cannot log in. Can I log into Yahoo or Rediff with my Gmail credentials? So here, Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail, these are all different instances. If you want to connect another instance, the same concept will follow.
ఓకే. ఓకే సార్.
Is it clear, guys? Any issues, any doubts? Fine.
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
if I have a user account in a SQL Server without RDP, can I connect to SQL Server?
User account in SQL Server.
Yes, sir. Without RDP, can I connect SSMS?
Yeah, you can connect. That is called SQL authentication. Without RDP, you can connect to SQL Server, not Windows machine. That is the main use of your SQL authentication. Developers will connect like that only. Developers, users, they will simply open SSMS. So will only install. Will means Windows team will install SSMS in the developers machines. We are not responsible. Sometimes please install SSMS. Sometimes we'll get the tickets. Please install. Can you please install SSMS in my laptop? We are not responsible. If you,
So is it
I'm sorry.
possible in Azure VM?
Anything is possible in the Azure VM. That's what I'm saying. There is no difference between Azure VM and on-prem VM. Okay, simply you are managing, that is on-prem, Microsoft is managing, that is Azure. That is infrastructure. Okay, again in the Azure we have different VMs. We are using infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Okay, so infrastructure means the whole server will be created in the Azure data center. It's possible in the Azure also, Azure VMs also.
What it means, if I install in a local laptop SSMS, are you using credentials? I can
You can connect
log in?
to, yes, happily you can connect. But again, there should be ports open between your laptop and Azure VM.
Oh, so,
Okay, ports should be open. You can happily connect. Here I can open my, okay, now if I am trying to connect, okay, so where is my SSMS? This is my SSMS. Let's try to connect. Of course it won't connect, but let's do one thing. What I have to do, if I want to use Windows authentication, it's not possible. I have to log in as B41 admin. Again, I have to create B41 admin. So what I'm going to do, I'll create a SQL login in the SQL server of Azure VM. Okay, I'll tell you. We'll go for the demo. I'm not sure. Never I tried, but this is first time I'm using Azure VMs. But we'll try that one. No problem. Till now, is it clear? Yes, sir. We can do that. Okay, we can connect from our local SSMS to Azure VM SQL Server. That's possible. Any questions as of now? Okay, in that case, let's go like this. Okay, these are called individual logins. What are these? Individual logins. Sir, what if I have 1,000 servers like this batch 41, right? Batch 41, like this batch 42, batch 43. Like this, what if I have 1,000 servers and in my team, 100 developers are there. So am I need to create all 100 users in all the 1,000 servers? Is it how it will work?
You can
Why?
add user
Because
groups.
yes. Why? Because thousands are, of course, the concept is same. If they want to log in, their account should be created in the machines. Without accounts, we cannot skip or we cannot bypass the security. Okay, but if 100 people are there, these 100 people wants to connect to 1,000 servers. Again, I have to create 1,000 each machine, 100 users I have to create. 1,000 into 100, how many users I have to create? 1 lakh users. Agree? Is it possible to create 1 lakh users? For example, in the 100 developers, one developer left the company. I have to remove his account from all 1,000 servers, right? Agree? Agree? Right? So
Yeah,
to
yeah.
avoid this headache, okay, we have one more concept called group login. Okay, what is that? Group login concept. These are all individual logins, right? So we have group login concept. So what we are going to do, we'll create a group. You can create a group with one person also. Okay, so what you can do, you can simply add, okay, you can simply add 1 minute. Okay, just 1 minute. Let's go like this. Okay, so imagine this is a group of 3 people. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll create a group login concept is also there. We'll create a group login like how we have Windows login concept. Remember guys, group login concept is there for only Windows authentication. There is no group login concept for SQL. Why? Because we have to create a group in the Windows level first. Okay, we have to create a group for them in the Windows level first. Then only I can create a group login for SQL Server. So this group of people can connect to my SQL Server, guys. If anyone removed, okay, or if anyone left the company from this group, simply I'll remove his login from the group. What I'll do, if I create this login in the Active Directory, what happened if I create the same group login in the Active Directory? Simply, if anyone new person joined, again I have to create 1,000 users in 1,000 machines. But simply what I am going to do, I'll simply, if someone joined in the company, okay, what I'll do, simply I'll add that person to the group. Okay, I'll add that person to the group. Okay, so simply on what and all servers this group of people is having access, all the servers he can also connect and he can also, okay, work with, on all the servers. If one person is removed from the organization or left the company, we'll simply delete his login so that he cannot log into all the 1,000 servers. With a single click we can add him, with a single click we can delete him. That is the advantage of group login, guys. The group of people can connect to my SQL Server. The group of people can connect to my SQL Server. Now I'll show you group login in the Windows individual machine. Also, we can create group. And once I created a window, as this is a Windows login, group login concept will work for only Windows login, guys. So what is the prerequisite for Windows login? Windows level group should be there. Okay. So once I have Windows group, once I have created Windows group, so what I'm going to do, they can connect to my SQL Server. If I gave access on SQL Server, they can connect to my SQL Server. Actually, this is not correct direction. Let's give like this. Guys, is it clear? Group login, the same concept, everything is same. Here it is individual logins, guys. Here it is group login, guys. That's it. I'll tell you how to create a group login also. How to create a group, based on that, how to create a group login. Means simply it's going to reduce the headache. For 20 people, for 100 logins are there. Imagine 20 DBAs are there. Instead of creating 20 DBAs, Praneeth, Sajal, Teja, Ravi, like this, instead of creating all 20 logins for all the 20 people, all imagine you people are 30 people almost. Okay, I want to create a login for all of you to connect to my SQL server. What I'll do, only once I'll create individual users in the Windows machine. I'll create a group login for all of you, for all 30 members. Simply what I'm going to do, I'll simply create a group login in the SQL server. So all the 30 members can connect to my SQL server, guys. Is it clear? The meeting is going to end. Let me reopen the meeting. Please join with the same link.